21, it's a knife. Bust a left, I got drunk and took a right. I'm so high, you fuck with me, I'll take your life. And then take your life, bring you back to fuck her twice. Hey, I'm in the cut, oh yeah, she wanna fuck, oh yeah, that little bitch cut throat, yeah, she give me deep throat, yeah, stitch like Lilo, combination no cheat code, yeah, I got the G code, gun gon' sing on glee, mo, yeah.
Hello, welcome to today's video, and in today's video, if you're reading the title, I'm not encouraging people to go out, drink, and smoke, okay? If you already do it, you do it. Do at the legal ages, have the legal reasons, and you're legally allowed to, you know? Don't be that piece of shit that's on probation for a DUI because you drove and crashed into a fucking building and keep on drinking. Don't be that piece of shit. But within today's video, we're going to be talking about what is better, drinking or smoking weed. I would have just said smoking, but then smoking can lead to tobacco, meth, fucking pills. And we ain't talking about those things because, to be honest, the only other thing I've smoked in my life besides weed is tobacco. And I'm glad as fuck because, again, tobacco's gross and it's a terrible thing. But I've had roommates that, let's just say they got addicted to pills and then started smoking it off tinfoil. That shit is gross as fuck. And number one, it's just that type of people. And he wasn't a bad dude. He's just a fucking young dude partying and then got wrapped up in some bad shit. I think he's doing better off now and got help and shit. Great for the dude. But, like, during it and living around it and, you know, being the sober one that's not doing all this crazy fuck shit, I'd come home and there was, like, tinfoil on the ground. There was, like, fucking hella residue and shit. Like, if you think of, like, resin from, like, a weed pipe or some shit after you smoke a lot of weed through a pipe, it was like that, but on tinfoil, and it just, like, people would be, like, sometimes just laid the fuck out. Like, you could, most of the time it wasn't to the point where I'm like, is this fucker dead? But I was like, damn, like, that dude is out like a fucking light, you know? And it's just this crazy shit to be around. But besides that little tangent, we're gonna be talking about the two things that I brought up earlier. Alcohol and weed. Which one's the better one? And at the end of the day, this is all, like, personal preference. Again, I'm ready for the debates down in the comments down below. Like, comment down below what you guys think. But again, if some people are like, weed's this and weed's bad, and every time I smoke weed, I can hear my inner demons telling me to jump, then don't smoke weed. Because, again, there's some people that feel the same way about alcohol. So I just say, at the end of the day, do whatever floats your fucking boat. But, today's video, I'm just gonna kind of lay it out. I like weed more than alcohol. Like, alcohol is, like, fine. It's not the worst thing on planet Earth. Again, like, if somebody handed me pills on a tinfoil, a straw and a lighter, or a fucking Budweiser, and was like, which one do you want? I'd probably take the Budweiser, you know, even though I fucking hate Budweiser. Like, maybe a Pacifico would be nice or some shit like that. But, like, you know, I'd rather get shit-faced drunk and then become addicted to pills. I think really anyone on planet Earth rather would take that route than, you know, get addicted to pills. But, again, sometimes people are a little different. No, but either way, why I like weed so much is because I think with me, like with a lot of people that can kind of relate the most, I guess, is like when some people are like, oh, when I smoke weed, I feel like a lot of anxiety. I don't like the feeling. I would say probably that's exactly how I feel, but if you flip it and instead of weed making me feel that way, it's more like alcohol. Like when I have alcohol, like usually if it's like one beer or two beers, I'm kind of chilling. But like since I don't drink a lot, normally like 2 or 3 beers, or usually I'm feeling it at that point. Like not shit faced, but I'm definitely, you know, a little wobbly. You could tell I've been drinking. But and the thing too is like sometimes it's like, depending if what you ate or how it's settling in your stomach, alcohol can really play a big role in that. And for me, I've always had a sensitive ass stomach, so I feel like no matter what, if I get shit faced when I'm drunk, if I like say fuck it, like usually I limit myself at 2 or 3 drinks, but if I say fuck it and go beyond that point and I know I'm gonna get shit faced, there's 100% factor that I am gonna puke, or like maybe a good 80 to 100% factor that I'm gonna puke, and then those are like good 60 to 40% that I'm gonna black out. So that's also why I don't like drinking alcohol. Like, blacking out is fucking terrible. It's like the shittiest feeling. And definitely I would say in the moment, obviously you're blacked out, you don't remember it, but once you wake up the next day, kind of recalling all the shit you did and try to figure out what you did, it's usually a shitty feeling, because once you do figure out what you did, it's usually something dumb as fuck. It's something that you obviously would never do if you were sober too, so you're just kind of like, damn, like, again, if you're not like in handcuffs or like got your shit beat the fuck up, you're kind of like, damn, I'm a lucky motherfucker. But then pretty much with like smoking weed, if you smoke too much weed, the worst thing that's gonna happen is you're just gonna fall asleep, and then you wake up and you're like, damn, I want to smoke some more weed, and you smoke some more weed. It's not like this whole thing. And like, also the next day after you black out, or not even blacking out, sometimes you just drink a little extra and you don't drink enough water or whatever the fuck. You just drink a little extra and you don't black out, you still wake up feeling like shit. You're either gonna puke, you got a headache, you don't want to get out of bed, whatever the fuck. You smoke some weed before you go to bed, you don't really have that. I feel like maybe when I first kind of started in like high school and shit, like I felt a little groggy, and sometimes like when I did start out like when like back in the day, I would sometimes, I think the grogginess I kind of mistook. English is hard. I mistook that. I feel like I'm saying that so wrong. Well, I misunderstood. That's what I'm gonna say. I misunderstood the grogginess maybe for as like, oh, I'm still kind of a little high. Maybe like that kind of feeling, I would say. But once you kind of like go down the like little rabbit hole of weed and you like kind of get used to it, you don't really feel that. You just kind of wake up in the morning and you kind of feel like you always do in the morning, fucking tired. No, or like, you know, if you get enough sleep, you feel well rested. It's not like this whole big ordeal with alcohol. Like I feel like alcohol is more of a hindrance than weed is. Like weed can hinder you to a degree. Like, yeah, you could get couch locked. Yeah, if your tolerance isn't high enough, you can have like things like anxiety. You can get like slumped the fuck out. But again, once you like kind of get used to it, your tolerance goes up. Kind of depending on the person too, because I have a friend whose tolerance went up, and he still always kind of had that like, oh shit, like kind of anxiety feeling. So it kind of depends on the person. But also for me, like once I smoked, I kind of always got anxiety and stuff like that. But I think it was because like I'm in high school and I know I shouldn't be doing this, and I'm doing it with my friends. But then once I did it with my brother and I got older and kind of knew like, okay, this is when I should do it and this is when I shouldn't do it, or else I'm gonna end up in handcuffs. I kind of like got less anxiety, you know, when I did it. And luckily, I never got caught either, which is kind of cool. Like, obviously, by my parents, they might be like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Why are you smoking in the house?" But like, I'm talking about law enforcement smoking at school. I never got caught. Luckily, thank God, because fuck that shit. I saw some of my friends go through the ringer of that. It's fucking hell. Fuck that. I'm not dealing with that bullshit, you know. But pretty much, at the end of the day, I just feel like alcohol just. It's like, I see why we have it. I'm not going to be, like, outside with a fucking, like, poster or, like, a fucking billboard or some shit being like, ban alcohol, alcohol's bad, weed's bad, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, you do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, for me, it's like, if I'm going to drink, it better be for a good-ass fucking occasion. Because, number one, I'm not going to drink a lot. And number two, I'm gonna feel like fucking shit, so it better be fucking worth it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes alcohol does kind of bring up the mood and makes me kind of more in the like spirit for shit. But then sometimes it's fucking like I'm like, why did I do this? I'm like, I shouldn't have just kept smoking the devil's lettuce, you know. And I feel like it just kind of depends. Like if you want to celebrate, be a little rowdy, and you're in a good, safe environment, like yeah, maybe throw a few drinks. But I feel like if you want that like chill, just chilling through your day or chilling through your night, you don't want like this whole thing the next day where you feel like shit or you have to do all these extra steps to not feel like shit. Just smoke some weed. And I feel like weed just like, I don't know, it's a little bit more affordable, I guess. Like, it depends on the kind of weed you get and the kind of alcohol you get and all that shit. And I feel like with weed, it's also addictive. Any drug is addictive. And I feel like anything nowadays is really addictive if you think about it. Like soda, certain type of soda, certain type of energy drink, stuff like that. And it's just kind of how, like, society views it. And I'm not trying to be here and, like, dictate shit and be like, blah, 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 or whatever. But all I'm trying to say is everything's addictive. And I feel like getting addicted to alcohol compared to getting addicted to weed, again, depending on the person and the situation, usually, like, I'm not going to condone and be like, oh, go do this and go get addicted to this. Best route is to not get addicted to anything and not do anything. That's the best fucking route you really can go. But I feel like with alcohol addiction, it's number one, it's harder to get out of and get off of. And it's more like fucks with your life and like makes your life shitty as fuck compared to weed addiction as like just don't smoke for a few days and like go do something else. As with like alcohol addiction, depending how far down you go down that rabbit hole, trying to quit alcohol sometimes for people who've been drinking 20 years straight can legit kill them. As if somebody who's been smoking weed 20 years straight and then they try and quit with smoking weed, like the most they're gonna like deal with is like being a little bit more pissed off than usual. They're not gonna like legit be on their deathbed almost. So I feel like when you gotta pick your poison, weed might be your better option at the end of the day. And it kind of like thinking about this, and I've always had this conversation with other people, it kind of blows my mind how long, like, not saying, again, alcohol should be illegal. We have it around for a reason, whatever the fuck. Alcohol is alcohol. But it kind of blows my mind that weed was illegal for so long, even though it's almost kind of more beneficial than alcohol. And we had alcohol fucking legal for all these years. Again, I'm not trying to be like, oh, ban alcohol. But, like, it just kind of blows my mind. Like, why was weed as this, like, bad guy? Why is it this, like, Schedule I drug when it's, like, almost safer than alcohol? But that's my opinion at the end of the day. I want to see what you guys think down below. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.